If you guys want coins for FC24, make sure you check out MMOEXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're very fast, they're very cheap, they're very reliable, and if you use my code Rema, you can get yourself a lovely 5% discount. So, what's up guys, it's Ash here and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back on the second account today, and those of you that watched my video the other day will know this team's come quite a long way. This account is only 1 week old, and this is what we've managed to grab from it without any FIFA points spent. Just from playing the game and doing SBCs, like for example this Delict card we got the other day, which was insane. Then we got Garincha in an icon pick, we evoed Mallard and Dina. We got this Voller in a pack. So yeah, it's going pretty well, and the whole point of this account is just to have a bit of fun, maybe using cards that I wouldn't have used on my main account, you know, like for example this Rye card, or even this Dina and Miller. You know, it's just nice to try out some different things. So yeah, that's why we're using this account at the moment. And yeah, today we have some 422 custom tactics, but just before we get into the video guys, I would very much appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up, as it does really help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and I do appreciate it greatly. And yeah, with all that aside guys, let's get right into the video. I hope you enjoy. Alright then guys, so starting off with the custom tactics. For the defensive style, we have this on balance. Now the reason we have it on balanced is because I find it to be the most controlled when you are defending. So when you want to press your opponent, for example, you can, and then when you want to drop back, maybe be a little bit more passive, you can also do that. So that is why we go with balance guys. For the defensive width at the moment, I just have it on 43. There's not really a specific number you need to use guys, to be honest with you. You can use 40. Anywhere from like I'd say 40 to 50 is alright, but it's just whatever number you want to use. Obviously 50 might be a bit wider than 40, but yeah, it keeps you nice and compact in the middle, stops all those attacks, but you still have that decent amount of width to cover the wider areas for when an opponent goes down the wing. Now for the depth guys, this really depends on the type of person that you are. If you want to use 71 depth, I would very much recommend the most meta defenders you can possibly get. So for example, Team of the Year Van Dijk, because if you use 71 depth with players in defense that aren't as good at this point, you're going to get cut to pieces with all these amazing attacker cards that are out. So if you're going to use 71 depth, I do highly recommend the most meta of defenses. What you can do otherwise is use something like 60 like I do, where you have that higher defensive line, but your players aren't always pressing like crazy and getting caught out of position. Moving on to the build-up play guys, we have this on balance. Now the reason we put it on balanced is because balance does give you the most consistent, the most fluid, and the most varied build-up in my opinion. So if you, with balanced, if you want to play slow for example, you can, and then if you want to play a bit faster, you can also do that. So it allows you to switch up your play whenever you want to, and gives you the most control, which is why I do recommend it. Now for the chance creation guys, direct passing is an absolute must in my opinion. It's the most meta option by far. When you use direct passing guys, your attackers will make these runs, the defender will follow the attacker making the run, and then the attacker will do like this track back movement, so you can cut back to them. So the movement is pretty much like this all the time, if that makes sense. Your attackers also often bunch up against the opposition defenders, meaning it's very easy to do the 1v1 isolation plays as well. So even though direct passing is a very boring tactic, it must be said, it's very effective nonetheless guys. Moving on to the width guys, don't ask why I have it on 49, it's just been working. I tried it with 49 and I seem to like it, so I didn't change it. The width is pretty much down to preference though. If you want to really exploit the wings, you can up the width a lot more, or if you even want to play a bit more narrow, you can, but it's completely down to your playstyle and what you want to do with it essentially. I can't give you a specific number which will be better, because you know some people might prefer 60, others 49, you know, it all depends really. For the players in the box guys, we have this on 5, banging in the middle. I use this a lot because it's really balanced. You get some players into the box, but you don't overcommit your entire team to the point where you're getting counter-attacked if you lose the ball. And then for the corners and the free kicks guys, I would recommend 2 or 1, but you can do whatever you want with that. We just go with 2 so we can cross the ball when we want, or we can play it short and we don't commit everybody in the box. Moving on to the player instructions guys, pretty basic to be completely honest with you, but on the strikers we have them on stay central and get in behind. Stay central because we don't really want them drifting out wide. They are our strikers primarily, so of course we want them to be in the middle so they can pick up the ball and finish off our chances. If you have your strikers on balance width, a lot of the time with a formation like this, you'll find them drifting out into the really wide areas, and then you have nobody directly through the middle. So stay central is pretty important. We also have them on getting behind to utilize their pace to get in behind those defensive lines, and it is the most meta option in my opinion. If you don't want to use this, or your opponent is like consistently reading these runs in behind and you want to switch it up, you can put one of them or both of them onto mixed attack, and that is absolutely fine, guys. Moving on to the wide cams, guys, we pop them on, come back on defense and get into the box for cross. Come back on defense on these two players will make it defend in a 4-4-2 shape. Now this is very important because although again people might think boring, everybody does this, you pretty much have to do this if you want to win games at a high level. The reason this is so effective is because when these cams come back to defend, like make it defend in a 4-4-2, we'll have really good coverage of both the central areas and the wider areas because there won't be any gaps. So this player, Miller in my case, the left cam will be a left mid, and Garincha will be the right mid. So it makes us really nice and defensively sound without really influencing our attack all that much. Get into the box across is also another useful instruction, as it stops your players from hesitating in getting into the area. I hesitated saying that, which is quite ironic. But moving on to the left and the right CDM, guys, at the moment I have them both on stay back while attacking, cut passing lanes and cover center. These are the most defensive options you can use. It really stops your opponent being able to pass right through the middle with those cut passing lane instructions, and the cover center one, of course. Cover center is useful because we don't really need them to cover the wider areas if we have the cams coming back to defend as right mids and left mids and covering those wings. And I even have my more box to box player on stay back at the moment. This is because his defensive work rate's only a medium at the moment, so if we have him on balanced attack, sometimes he might not transition back correctly, but stay back while attacking means he'll always be in position, and when I want to send him forward I can do that. If you just want to switch one of them to balance, that is absolutely fine though. For the fullbacks, guys, I have one of them on balanced overlap at the moment, and then the other one on stay back overlap. So your more attacking one, balanced overlap, and then the more defensive stay back overlap. This is so we always have that wider option. We get an extra player forward, and it helps us create multiple angles. We'll have players running through the narrow areas, and then this fullback overlapping to give us that extra width. Really useful, guys. And then the more defensive one, of course, we want to stay back, so we always have at least 3 defenders back at a time, but when we send them on the run forward, they'll make the overlapping runs to add that extra width. For the 2 centre backs, of course, guys, we leave them on stay back, we don't touch them. And then the keeper, I also leave them on balance, but you can pop them on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper if you would like. If you're wondering why I'm looking at my phone, I've just ordered a Domino's. But yeah, that's basically it for the tactics, guys. Tweak them as you must. You can basically do whatever you want. They are your like instructions that fit you. After all, you don't have to copy them word for like, you know, instruction for instruction, sorry. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. That's everything for the video. Leave a like if you found this useful, sub to the channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out, guys.